Keanu Reeves walked through the spacious corridors of a huge shopping mall, blending in seamlessly with the crowd. Wearing a simple black t-shirt, dark jeans, and comfortable sneakers, it was hard to recognize him as the famous actor. He thought this day would offer a short break from all the bustle, but it ended quite differently. A sudden argument, someone's hidden pain, and another's humiliating outburst would force Keanu to intervene. What happened next changed the way people around him viewed simple kindness and once again proved that humility always prevails over arrogance. Before you dive into this story, let me remind you, if it touches your heart or makes you think, please leave a like, share a comment, and subscribe to the channel. Your support is another step toward bringing more heartfelt stories like this to life. The story begins in the heart of the shopping mall, where dazzling storefront lights illuminate countless displays and visitors rush about their errands. Among the bustle, Keanu walks unnoticed, enjoying his anonymity. He stops by a cafe, skimming the menu posted on the wall, but just then an announcement over the loudspeaker promotes a sale in one of the electronics stores. People gradually head that way for discounts, and Keanu, smiling, decides to continue along the corridors. Maybe he'll find something interesting for himself or a gift for someone close. In the distance, there's a sigh of frustration. A young woman named Lily stands at a store counter, trying to solve some technical issue with her new phone with the help of a consultant. Next to her is her 16-year-old daughter, who silently flips through some promotional leaflets, trying not to draw attention. Lily looks tired, her gray blouse and light pants are slightly wrinkled, and her face shows signs of recent hardship. While the consultant types something on the computer, Lily carefully removes her last bills from her wallet. It's clear from her eyes that she's barely making ends meet. Observing this scene, Keanu stops close by, as though sensing that these people might need more than just technical help, they might need a bit of human warmth. Suddenly, another character appears, someone who later becomes the antagonist of our story. He's a tall man, well-groomed, sporting an expensive watch on his wrist. Initially, he behaves politely enough, asking the consultant questions, but the moment he notices Lily and her daughter have been occupying the counter for quite a while, he begins to show obvious impatience. He taps his fingers on the display case, staring them down, signaling that they are wasting his time. Arrogance radiates from his eyes, like he believes people without fancy suits or fat wallets shouldn't be around him. Keanu observes discreetly, not stepping in yet, until the situation escalates further. But what happens next will surprise even him. While Lily talks with the consultant, trying to figure out why her phone stopped working after the latest update, her daughter glances around anxiously. At that point, the tall man in the gray suit, now looking even more irritated, walks right up to the counter. He sneers, "Are you going to be much longer? What's the matter with that cheap phone of yours?" His voice is cold and contemptuous. "I'm sorry," Lily responds quietly. "It's really important for us to fix it." The man turns abruptly to Lily's daughter as if noticing her for the first time. "And what are you staring at?" he says harshly. "There are always people like you who can't solve a simple problem and only hold everyone else up." The girl's face goes pale under this onslaught. Seeing how he's insulting her, Keanu's brow furrows. Inside, indignation rises. But he still remains calm and takes a few steps closer to intervene if necessary. The consultant, noticing the tension, apologetically asks the man to wait a few more minutes, promising to help him soon. But it's not enough for him. Straightening up, he tosses Lily a disdainful look and adds, "Looks like you can only afford broken cheap stuff with the money you've got. And the rest of us have to wait around all day for you. You see, I'm in a hurry." Lily feels humiliated. She's already doing her best to get the phone fixed, because she'll need to be reachable by a potential employer next week. She's raising her daughter alone, after her husband left when the child was small. Their finances are in dire straits, and even the thought of paying for a modest repair triggers panic. She's on the verge of tears but fights to remain strong for her daughter. Keanu keeps a close eye on the scene. He quietly sighs, deciding it's time to intervene, but the man in the gray suit suddenly turns toward him. It looks like he's noticed Keanu has been observing the situation. Unaware of who he's really facing, the antagonist directs his frustration at this onlooker. "Hey, what are you staring at? Maybe you want to teach me some manners? Or do you think they'll finish faster if you just stand there gaping?" Keanu offers a polite smile. "I just thought you might want to be a bit more patient. Everyone goes through tough situations." "Oh really?" the man replies sarcastically. "Listen, pal, I don't care who you are or what you want. If you have time to kill, stand there and watch. Just don't get in my way while I'm talking to these slowpokes." The situation grows more heated, but the real drama is only beginning. Memories flash through Keanu's mind of times he himself had to endure injustice and humiliation from strangers who had no idea about his status. He understands the value of kindness and empathy. Meanwhile, the man in the gray suit seems used to flaunting his imagined superiority. All of a sudden, Lily's daughter's phone rings, the same phone that supposedly wasn't working. The consultant is baffled because moments ago it was still bugging out. The girl stares at the screen, then looks at her mother and whispers, "Mom, it's that company you sent your resume to." It turns out Lily is job hunting, and a potential employer is trying to reach her. The girl attempts to hand the phone to her mother, but Lily can't pick up in time. The device abruptly shuts off again. Realizing how crucial this call is, Lily desperately asks the consultant to restore the connection, but he only shrugs. He needs time, and the line is already stretched out. The man in the gray suit rolls his eyes, as if saying, "I told you, they're just holding us up." Seeing this, Keanu decides to help. He politely leans toward the girl. "May I take a look at your phone? Sometimes there's a quick way to get it running again." Lily, a bit embarrassed, hands him the device. Spotting this, the man in the gray suit can't hold back. "What, are you a jack of all trades now? Think you can fix it just like that?" He laughs mockingly. "Looks like you're not only lacking manners but brains too." A few people in the crowd seem to recognize Keanu, but none of them want to call it out loud. An older woman walking by glances curiously at him but doesn't interfere. The man in the gray suit, though, pays no attention to any looks, focusing entirely on teaching a lesson to this unknown guy who, in his view, had the gall to lecture him. Keanu examines the phone, restarts it, and, to the consultant's surprise, manages to launch the system in a safe mode. Briefly, the device works again. Lily looks at Keanu gratefully, and her daughter barely restrains her joy. But the antagonist is not ready to let this nobody savor a small victory. Lily suddenly recalls a short but painful episode from her past. Her ex-husband, who once pledged to care for the family, angrily calling her worthless and abandoning her and their child. She learned then just how hard it was to be on her own, and how crucial a bit of human support could be. She tried not to grow bitter, believing that kindness ultimately triumphs. Now, seeing a stranger calmly trying to help, she feels her heart fill with gratitude. However, the hope Lily feels is quickly overshadowed by the antagonist's sharp remark, "You really think this guy can help you with anything? Look at him. Just another nerd playing hero." With that, the man again turns to Keanu. "You see, I'm in a hurry and losing my time because of you people? Or do you just not care because you've done nothing important in your life?" Keanu lifts his gaze. There's no aggression in his eyes, only quiet empathy. "You know, I think it's important in moments like these to support each other rather than get angry." "Oh, really?" the man practically shouts, waving his arms. "If you don't have money to live decently, keep your mouth shut. The way you're dressed, it looks like you're not much better off than that woman." In that moment, a few people in the crowd whisper more audibly, "How dare he talk like that to Keanu Reeves? That's him, I'm sure." Someone has their phone out to record the scene. The antagonist notices the cameras but assumes they're recording him, this successful and confident man. Pride radiates from his eyes. He's clueless that his words are about to backfire on him. Lily, nearly in tears, sees that her phone is working again, quickly pressing it to her ear. Through the speaker, she hears a faint voice offering her a job interview. She's so shaken she can barely speak, but she manages to give her name and agree to a meeting. Relief appears on her face, like she's finally caught a small break from unending troubles. Watching Lily finally receive that critical phone call, Keanu smiles. He turns to the man. You see, sometimes you just need a bit of patience for good things to happen. The man narrows his eyes. I don't care about her good things. I'm here to buy a new device and wanted fast service. That's normal for someone of my status. Who are you to butt in? Nothing special, Keanu answers calmly. I just think everyone deserves some respect, no matter how much money they have. The man sneers. Sounds like a cheap movie, huh? Maybe you're the hero. Just then, a young guy from the crowd, who's been filming the whole time, runs up with excitement in his voice. Mr. Reeves, could I get a picture with you? I'm a huge fan. The antagonist is stunned. He glances from the young fan to Keanu, needing a few seconds to process. Then his eyebrows shoot up. What? Reeves? Keanu Reeves? He squints, recalling the actor's face. Finally it dawns on him. His eyes widen in disbelief. You're that actor. There's scattered applause and approving nods from around them. Some even say, I knew it from the start. The antagonist looks as though the ground has fallen out from under him. He just insulted not only an ordinary woman but also a celebrity admired by millions for his modesty and kindness. But the bigger point is not Keanu's fame, it's how he handled what happened. The man in the gray suit scrambles to fix the situation. I'm sorry. I didn't. I had no idea who you were. I just didn't want, but he can't string a coherent sentence together. Realizing he just hurled awful words at a public figure many view as a role model, he's mortified. Keanu, wanting to ease the tension, gently pats his shoulder and says, believe me, it doesn't really matter whether I'm famous. What matters is how we treat each other. The antagonist lowers his eyes, his once fiery confidence melting under the onlooker's stares. A few moments pass in silence. Finally, he mutters, I behaved terribly. I'm sorry. Those words are meant for Lily, her daughter, and the consultant. Lily gives an awkward nod, still showing signs of the hurt she felt, but there's a hint she wants to believe in his genuine remorse. Keanu notices the large crowd has formed, many recording on their phones. He decides to channel it into a positive message. Clasping his hands, he addresses them, friends, we all lose our patience sometimes, standing in lines, in stores, on the roads. But you can always choose another way, try to understand what's going on inside the other person. Sometimes a single act of kindness can change a lot. Applause spreads among the bystanders. Some even call out Keanu's name. The antagonist stands there, red-faced, realizing his pompous behavior now appears sad and ridiculous. Finally ending her call, Lily looks at Keanu with undisguised gratitude. Her daughter carefully steps closer, visibly shy, and says, thank you, Mr. Reeves. You have no idea how important this is for us. If we'd missed that call, Mom might have lost a great job opportunity. Keanu smiles in return, I'm glad it worked out. I hope things turn around for you. At this point, the antagonist speaks up again. He looks disoriented but musters the courage. If you need help, technical or anything else, I can pay for the repair, he says with a hint of regret in his voice. I'm sorry, really. Lily, looking flustered, clutches her purse, not sure how to respond. On the one hand, he just treated her terribly, yet on the other, she sees he's trying to make amends. Keanu gives her a subtle, encouraging look, silently suggesting she accept the goodwill gesture. Eventually Lily nods hesitantly. The man in the gray suit pulls out his payment card and hands it to the consultant, explaining he wants to cover all the repair costs and any replacement parts. There's a soft murmur of approval through the crowd. This isn't so much buying forgiveness as it is a genuine attempt to redeem himself in the public eye. The older woman who recognized Keanu early on exclaims, "See how things can turn around if you show a little kindness." Someone else in the crowd shouts, "Thank you, Keanu. You're the real deal." For Lily and her daughter, this is more than just a pleasant day at the mall, it's a small miracle. The phone will be fixed, Lily has a real chance at a new job, and much of it is thanks to Keanu's support. He didn't do anything superhuman, just offered help and compassion. Yet that simple act was enough to inspire onlookers and even compel the arrogant man to repent. The antagonist, brow furrowed, avoids looking at Keanu or the onlookers. He's obviously embarrassed by how he behaved. But maybe this lesson will be the start of real change for him. In a quiet voice he apologizes once more and nods at Keanu, as if to say, "Thank you for not condemning me completely." Keanu realizes his presence has attracted enough attention. He gently touches Lily's shoulder, "I'm happy things are getting better for you. And remember, a good deed you do today might return to you when you least expect it." Then he turns to the crowd, "Friends, I hope you keep in your hearts a desire to help one another. Even small gestures, a simple word of support, can sometimes change someone's whole life." Gradually the crowd disperses, carrying off videos of the event that took place in just a few minutes. Someone will definitely share these clips on social media, and it will probably go viral. But what truly matters is that the anger disappeared, replaced by an atmosphere of empathy. Lily wipes away tears and embraces her daughter. She now feels a strong certainty that she's not alone, that the world still has room for kindness. The antagonist quietly slips away, as if rethinking his life. Perhaps when he sees himself online, he'll feel even more shame. But there's a chance that this will spur him to change. Keanu bids goodbye to the consultant and Lily, wishing everyone well. Those who witness the scene smile as he departs. He never demands recognition or rewards. His modest steps again highlight why people admire him. He remains one of the crowd, ready to help a stranger in trouble. Leaving the mall, Keanu pauses for a moment to glance back. He can see Lily speaking to her daughter. Both of them are beaming, and for a moment he feels deep tranquility. He doesn't need to know exactly how their future unfolds, it's enough to realize he contributed to saving another family from just one more cycle of despair. This touching story ends with a reminder that, even in the most ordinary shopping mall, amid the buzz of hurried people, real miracles can happen. A small gesture of kindness, timely support, and a genuine willingness to understand someone else, these are what can turn a life around. And even if we're not all movie stars, each of us has a piece of that power that can make the world a better place. Remember, what might seem trivial to us could be someone else's lifeline. Don't miss a chance to help when you can. Cherish simple joys, be slow to judge, and learn to show compassion. As Keanu Reeves himself has shown, sincerity and goodness are far more important than fame and money, they are the foundation of what we call our shared humanity.